So now we discuss the different social safety net programs or social protection schemes of the federal government. In this module, we will discuss three of these schemes: BISP, Poverty Alleviation Fund, and Baitul Mal. Zakat is also a big scheme of the federal government, but basically what federal government does is takes money from the banks and then transfer it to provinces. It's actually the provinces which distribute the zakat fund. So technically it's a federal government scheme, but actually it's more like a provincial government scheme. So we will discuss BISP, Poverty Alleviation Fund, and Baitul Mal. So BISP is a big initiative, a big achievement of the federal government, and currently one of the biggest programs, social safety net programs in Pakistan. It started in 2008 and 9. One of the most important characteristics of this program is that the money is only given to women. So this is a federal unconditional cash transfer program, meaning thereby that mostly women are given money without any question asked. So once they are selected, and they are selected on the basis of different characteristics: household income, number of children, number of wage earners, health. All these things are taken into consideration while selecting these women. But once they are selected, no questions are asked, and they are given money every quarterly. So every 4 months they are given money. And initially the money was only 1,000 or 1,500 rupees, but now it has increased to 5,000. So BISP is nationwide. It operates in all the 5 provinces as well as in AJK and Gilgit-Baltistan. They are, headquartered in Islamabad, and there are 6 regional offices in all the provincial and regional capitals. If you look at the number of beneficiaries, so it started with 1.8 million beneficiary families, but gradually this has increased, and the number has now reached to 5.8 million families, which means that if every family has 3 or 4 members, this means that 6 million multiplied by 4, so it is almost around 20 to 24 million people or persons are affected by BISP. So that is the range of this program. Although the amount given is small, but it reaches to a large number of people. And it has shown enormous progress. So from 1.8 million to 5.8, so almost 300% increase in the last 10 years. Similarly, if we look at the cash grants, it has increased. The number has increased from around 16 billion to 124 billion. So that is the kind of speed and that BISP has expanded. So not only the number of beneficiaries increased, but the amount paid to each beneficiary has also increased. So now almost 125 billion rupees are spent every year by BISP on poor and vulnerable sections of the society. The biggest part of the BISP is, of course, the unconditional cash transfers, but there is also another part which is conditional, which cash transfers. Like if a BISP beneficiary has children who go to school, they are given some money. Then there is also a new program which is to be started, where the beneficiaries are given skills, assets, and trainings so that they graduate from poverty to self-reliance. So they are not always dependent on BISP. And now BISP is also improving itself, as I discussed in the last module, that better targeting, new surveys, more technology, biometrics are being used, better monitoring, so that undesired people will not take away the money, and more financial inclusion for the women, which is not possible in other ways. So coming to the Pakistan Poverty Alleviation Fund, it's the focus of Poverty Alleviation Fund is the partnership. So it gives money to the NGOs, to the civil society organizations, who then work to improve the lot of the poor and vulnerable society. It was established in 2000, and since then it has distributed 222 billion rupees to the different partner organizations, and has given microcredit facilities to 8.4 million, and 60% are again women and 80% are in rural areas. So in last year it spent, or last 8 months it spent 756 million. So if you look at the Pakistan Baitul Mal, it again helps the poor. It's a smaller organization as compared to the previous two, but it also spends a lot. Almost 1.8 billion rupees were spent in the last 8-9 months from July to March 2018 to March 2019 to help the poor for medical and education expenses as well as the NGOs. Thank you.